position, we've got all this twist. See, my core is twisted at the catch? Now the next thing I'm going to do, my blade is in the air. The water level on the boat's going to come to about here, okay? So now from the air, I need to get that blade buried. And the best way to get it buried is to continue using your body, so you connect with your body. You see I'm burying the blade right now with my body. My arms aren't changing, my body position angles aren't changing. All I'm doing is I'm connecting to the water with my body. It's all happening here. That's really important, because what happens is sometimes people get that great setup, but they lose it because they just do this. Right? You see my body didn't move, but my arms moved. So it's really important to take your time to make sure you get that right setup, connect to the water. Okay, that's the connection up at the catch. Okay, so I'm connecting to the water with my body. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I've got all this twist. Now I'm going to start using that twist. I got my twist, I connect. Now I start to untwist. I start to unwind, and we call it de-rotate in the boat. So I start to de-rotate. Okay, so it's kind of like a spring or a coil. You wind up and then you de-rotate back. Okay, that's the initiation of the pull through. And you try to do that with as much body as you can. So a lot of times your coaches are going to say to you, I want to see that full extension with the bottom arm at the catch. That's what they're talking about here. Okay, this isn't full extension. Okay, this is full extension. And what we want to see is a nice kind of bowed line from your bottom hand to your hip. That's that full extension we're talking about. And then you connect, and then you start to unwind. Okay, and then you're going to get to a point in your stroke where your shoulders are beside each other. You're square. Okay, when you get to that point, you've kind of unwound almost to the point of diminishing returns. Okay, because I'm unwinding. Now my shoulders are square. If I keep trying to unwind, I'm going to be positioned like this at the end of the stroke, which isn't good for trying to set up the next stroke. And it's also not good to go from square to this position when you're trying to generate power and resistance on the blade, because you just can't keep up. So what I suggest is that you connect, you start that unwinding, your shoulders square, you see how they're beside each other right now? And what you got to think about is there's a wall right here at your hip. Okay, the only way to break through that wall is with your bottom elbow. Boom, is to bang through it with your bottom elbow. So as soon as you square up, you go boom, right through that wall with the bottom elbow. So think about it, if I got a wall here, and I'm trying to break through the wall, see, your life depends on it. So I'm standing here, and I got a wall here, and I got a guy telling me, okay, I want you to break through that wall. It's a glass wall. How are you going to do it? I'm going to go like that, right? I'm going to go like that. I'm not going to try to do it with a straight arm, because I'm not going to break through it. Okay, I'm not going to try to go like that. I'm going to go boom, right through. And that's the best way to blast through that wall and generate as much power and acceleration through that exit. And the reason it's so important is because these boats without people in it weigh about 800 pounds. You put 20 bodies in it, it's thousands and thousands of pounds. Okay, so from here, when my depends on your body. When you exit, okay, that's your last opportunity to try to push the boat forward. So it's really important to try to be as aggressive as possible through that exit, because you're going to go through a phase after the exit that's called the recovery, and in the recovery motion, there's nothing in the water. There's no forward propulsion. So you've got to get as much off that exit as you can so the boat glides. Because what I see happening a lot is people get to the exit and they fade and they slow down because they're trying to keep a really straight arm and they're trying to de-rotate. But the problem is your body can't de-rotate fast enough at that point to generate the forward movement of the boat. So that's why there's a certain point of the stroke. It's called body strokes, body strokes, body strokes. But then you get to a point here, there's kind of a little hinge here on your arm that hammers through. So I'm not asking you to do this with your bottom arm. All I'm saying is hammer through like that. Boom, boom. And it all gets back to being comfortable. Okay, so when you finish your stroke, you've got to be sitting here strong and comfortable. And if I've got a straight arm pushing my body inside the boat and my bottom shoulder and my chin, then that's not comfort. Okay, this is comfort and this is strong. The more comfortable you are, the stronger you are, you're ready to attack. Okay, you got to think about that. When you finish your stroke, you're ready to attack. Okay? Now, I spent a little bit of time on that because, I'll be honest with you, over the last few years, the stroke has developed a lot. The dragon boat stroke has developed a lot. And the exits, if you even look now at a lot of teams, there's a lot of different exits. So certain teams have a philosophy on exiting a certain style, another style. Generally, I think our coaches are on the same page. I'm a big fan of the exit. I think it's really important to execute the exit properly because that sets up the next stroke. Okay? And what I think you need to be doing in the boat is trying to make yourself as comfortable as possible. And so that's one way to make it comfortable is to kind of soften the bottom arm a bit and just hammer through that wall. Because if you just try to do it with a straight arm, you're going to fade and you're going to decelerate as opposed to accelerate. Okay? Any other additions to that?